Hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm just giving it a moment for everything to catch up. Let's see if everything's in good health. Looks to be okay. Hey, Austin, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So basically, what's going to be happening here is I'm going to be doing this live stream showing you guys how I create and market Udemy courses. I recently had all that huff with Skillshare, and so I had to port courses, and I just poured my heart into a new course and have all this marketing stuff. So I'm going to show you guys the whole entire process. Okay? First, let's look at my history on Udemy, because I want to show you guys what I was doing before and why it partially worked. Okay? So I'm going to go to the instructor dashboard here, and I'm going to zoom in. We're going to look at the most successful course I have, which is the dropshipping course. Okay? Now, if we go here and then go to, is it revenue report? Actually, no. I got to scroll back here. So basically, guys, I'm going to be talking about what's going on here, and then every like 10-15 minutes, I'll look at the chat and then answer any questions you guys have. Again, this is all about creating Udemy courses and marketing them. Okay, I'm going to show you the latest things that I'm doing because I have to switch to Udemy basically because of all the stuff that happened with Skillshare and getting banned and losing like over $1,000 from that. I had a lot of expectations for Skillshare and they just screwed me. So I have to stop talking positively about Skillshare and figure out what to do with all my videos about them. Because I have a lot of really positive videos about Skillshare, but I can't honestly recommend them to anybody anymore because they just willy-nilly ban teachers and don't care if you actually deserve the ban or not. So I can't in good faith recommend that any instructor have courses on Skillshare and pursue that because it's just not really realistic. You shouldn't work with platforms that are likely to ban you for no good reason. And that happened to me. It happened to 2 people I know and some other big people like Chris, who runs this YouTube channel called Daily Refinement. It's all about eBay shopping. He's a close friend of mine. I just stayed with him for 2 weeks. This guy, he had a course on Skillshare, and he had referred like 260 people, something like that. So that's $2,600 in referral fees, and they just banned him before he even got his first paycheck. And like, what I was a little bit worried about is that in my situation, I have an audience of dropshippers, and Skillshare doesn't like dropshippers. So I kind of thought, okay, maybe it's because my audience is dropshippers, and Skillshare knows that and doesn't like that. But Chris's audience has like no dropshippers; they're all like physical eBay sellers, and they still banned him for the exact same way that I got banned. So that's why I stopped Skillshare, even though if you look at my YouTube channel, it's covered in Skillshare content, and I'm going to take care of that. I apologize, guys, but I want to make sure that, you know, I'm being honest with you guys and that I'm pursuing courses and information in a way that you guys could also do it. Because if it only works for me, but it's not useful for you, then like, that's not satisfying for me as a YouTuber. I want to do things that is useful for me, but that you guys can also benefit from, right? So now we've covered the Skillshare situation. Now let's talk a little bit about the history that I have with Udemy. So we can see right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different courses, only 4 of which are published. And 4 are my pre-now Udemy days, because basically I did Udemy, and then I stopped doing Udemy, and now I'm getting back into Udemy, okay? So I want to make sure that before I get into too much of the nitty-gritty about how to record courses, how to do product research, and how to market your courses, I want to make sure you guys understand my personal story and how it is that I became a Udemy teacher, because understanding this is going to allow you to better understand if you can use Udemy in your own life. Because ideally, like, coursework is amazing. If you can get a couple good courses earning you money, then you can pay most of your bills passively. And that is an awesome lifestyle, right? Because then you can have everything taken care of in your sleep, and you can spend your waking hours focusing on things that could earn you like a lot of money or that you really, really enjoy. It completely changes the game once you have all of your necessities taken care of by relatively passive income streams, right? So I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Mikey Hello. Mikey and Austin both say hello. Mikey says, yo, Jack, I will be creating a YouTube and wanted to just give out free content in regards to positive information. Thoughts? Yeah, that's completely doable. So the problem with positive information and mentality stuff is that most people don't want to hear it. Like, don't get me wrong, no matter what you do in business, the best thing that you can do is change your mentality so that you are solution oriented and you don't see an obstacle as something to give up. You just see it as a problem to solve, right? It literally is, the answers are all in the mentality. But the problem is that most people don't want to hear that. Most people don't want to be taught the mentality. They need to buy something else and then secretly be taught the mentality on the side. It's really genuinely hard to get well known just for being positive and sharing that kind of mentality. Usually you have to do it with something else. So you have to identify problems that people have and figure out how you can provide solutions to these specific problems, and while doing that, also maintain that positive, really uplifting perspective. It really is tricky to just do the positive one. But if you are interested in making videos and you're thinking about it, don't think about it too much. Just literally record videos, keep making new content, because it's going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to really get the most out of your YouTube channel. Okay? Okay, so first let me go to the revenue report, which I think is in performance over here. And so you guys are going to get a bit of experience from navigating Udemy, okay? So you can see that in my life I've made almost $19,000 from Udemy, and I used to make a lot more money than I do now, right? Because again, I focused on Udemy, and then I stopped focusing on Udemy, and I just started focusing on it again. So we're going to get into some of the details of what happened there. But basically, we need to rewind about 2 years. Actually, 2 years and 2 years to the day almost. I was still a barista at Starbucks, and I wanted to be my own boss and earn my own money online. At the time, I was really, really sick, and I thought I didn't have a choice. So I had to figure out how to earn money online so that I could rest appropriately, so that I could still function like a normal person even though I was sick, right? So that is what got me started in eBay, and I was doing a lot of drop shipping. And I was sharing a lot of information about drop shipping, and I'd become a very informed individual regarding drop shipping information. And looking back, it's kind of ironic, because I was not by no means was I a very profitable or a very good drop shipper. But because so many drop shippers are so hesitant to share information, I became known as one of the most informed people who was willing to share information about dropshipping. Most people were really, really selfish back then, and were going to charge hundreds or thousands of dollars for information. If you weren't charging, you weren't going to get that information. So by me sharing all that information for free, it caused a stir, right? And that's how I was able to get a reputation as a YouTuber. And I found myself in a position where my reputation on YouTube had allowed me to connect with all these major, huge drop shippers. So I got to see their operations and found myself in a position where I understood very well how the industry works and how different people are able to use different strategies, what determines whether somebody's going to have success drop shipping, what determines if somebody's going to fail, right? And ultimately, again, it's all about mentality. If you view everything that happens to you as a problem to solve, then you will never fail. You will fix everything that happens. The problem is when you start viewing things that happen as a reason to quit, right? That's when you start giving up, and that's what happens to most people. It starts getting tricky or challenging, or they're not earning enough money, and instead of sticking with it and keeping on going and trying to meet new people and trying new things, they just tell themselves it's dead and it's not possible. And honestly, that is what most people will do. And a lot of you listening to this call, if you try and pursue something, you will have these thought patterns where you start to believe that an opportunity just doesn't exist anymore. And so instead of trying to figure out how to fix your problems, you just tell yourself, oh no, it's dead, it's not a problem anymore, it's not on me, it's the world, right? But you are always the person who can fix your problems and fix your life. If you wait for other people or a government or anything else aside from you to fix your problems, it's never going to happen, and you're going to die one day and look back at your life and regret being that way. You have to be very ambitious, and you have to keep trying new things and focus on meeting as many like-minded people as possible. The more eye contact you make with people you want to be like, the further you will get in life, and you can better bridge the gap between who you are now and who you want to be, right? So I found myself in this position where I was running the YouTube channel. People were asking me to make a course. So I started talking about the course, and I started working on a course, just thinking like, okay, there's a bunch of these step-by-step dropshipping methods out there, but I don't want to be something like that. I want to make a course where someone can take it and it's like a map. Like they can see everything that I see and see all these different strategies and understand like the bigger picture and see the scene of dropshipping, right? And then they can make their own informed decision if they want to buy another more specific step-by-step course and get something off the ground. They can do that. But I built the course in a way where the course could be used alongside other courses. It wasn't like, hey, do this, ignore other people. Like one of the premises of the course, one of the first things I tell people when they take it is that like you have to expose yourself to as much different information as possible. Like don't listen to just one person, listen to multiple different people, see what they say and compare it, see if it matches, see if it contradicts, and develop your own opinion about what you want to do, okay? So I started talking about the course, making YouTube videos, and again, I was in a niche that was like I was one of the few people sharing that information, so it was really easy for me to gain traction on YouTube back then. Whereas now, if you're doing dropshipping stuff, there's just not as much demand because there's so much free information there already. Whereas when I started, I was one of the few people doing it, so it was like new and like bleeding edge in that sense. So as I was making YouTube videos and talking about this, I was talking about the course, working on it, getting it set up. And then I ended up moving to Nicaragua, and I basically found that I had enough money to quit my job if I was living in Nicaragua, but not if I was living in the US. So I moved to Nicaragua, and there was some drama and some other things that happened, but that's all in the past. I moved to Nicaragua, and within 2 months of me being there, I published the dropshipping course. Okay, so let's get into what that looked like. I think we can do all time here. There we go. So you can see that I published the course for the first time in October in 2017, and the first month earned $900. All right, and I want to preface this because you can't just make a Udemy course and think it's going to get $900. There was a very specific circumstance that led to me being able to get $900 my first month on Udemy, and that was actually a mistake. I should have gotten almost $3,000 on that first month because I had been building up the course by talking about it on YouTube for like 5 or 6 months. People knew I was working on this course. It was like a point of awareness. People knew about it, right? And again, I was one of the major figures in this scene of individuals at the time. Like now, obviously, I don't have anywhere near as big of a role as I used to, but I would make videos, and then other major channels would make videos about the same stuff that I started the conversation about, right? So I was in a very, very interesting position. And let's get into what I was just talking about earlier, where you can see that this first month I earned $900. I told you that I made a mistake and it should have been $3,000, right? So let's look a little bit at how Udemy, how you get money from Udemy, because whenever your course sells, you don't get the whole purchase price unless you brought the traffic, right? So let me think of the best way to illustrate this. We can just start looking at the course creation process now, I think. Okay? So I'm going to go over to Udemy, and then I'm going to go to this course. You see how it says in review? This is the course that I just made, how to record and do live streams using OBS, the same software you see right now. We're going to click on it, and now what you guys see is the back end of a Udemy course. Every thing that you see if you take a course on Udemy is done here. This is where you upload the videos, it's where you put the description, it's where you make the promotional video, it's where you do everything except the marketing. So what I want to show you is these course promotions. Udemy has this thing called a coupon system. or promotion system, okay? You see how they say coupons and then promotions. And it's a little bit misleading because basically what you do is you pick a price for your course, okay? And what you should always do with Udemy courses is pick the maximum price course, which is $199.99. It will never, ever, ever sell for full price. Udemy just has this, and it's kind of misleading because they make you think that you have a $200 course when you don't. All courses on Udemy are $10 to $30 courses. They're constantly on sale. Something else is constantly happening. So don't let that mislead you. This is kind of like the MSRP price of your course. If you're familiar with like selling on Amazon or eBay, you know how sometimes you'll see a price that's crossed out that's like what the full cost of the item is at like a retailer? That's basically what this number is. Again, you're never actually going to sell it for this much, okay? But so this is where you determine the Udemy price of your course. And you have some options here because you can actually use Udemy just to host your course and get 97% of the sales when they sell. And in this case, if it was $200, you would get $198 or whatever 97% of 200 is. The problem is that if you do that, you have to bring every piece of traffic. And at that point, you may as well be using Teachable, right? The benefit of Udemy is that once you show Udemy some social proof, you can start growing a lot of traction. As you guys saw before on my Udemy course, like I published a course about something that I wasn't actively earning a whole lot of money doing, but I was very, very well informed about it, right? And that gave me the credibility to teach people what dropshipping is and how people do it, right? So even though I got banned and the industry like crashed because of some changes that eBay made, I still earn enough money from this course to this day to pay my rent in Nicaragua, right? Even though I haven't worked on it that much. I updated it a few times, but I didn't really do any marketing. And that's the power of Udemy in particular, is that once you've established yourself and you've given Udemy social proof, you've brought traffic to the platform, that traffic has engaged with your course and it's left reviews, then Udemy will keep pushing your course. They will make marketing campaigns for it. And so the thing here is that depending on whether Udemy sells your course, you do, or an affiliate does, you could only get 25% of the sales price, right? And again, you don't get 25% of this. You get 25% of what it actually sold for. And that's typically going to be like between 10 and 20 bucks. That's what most Udemy course sales are for, right? And Udemy course sales are so easy. You could literally go to an incognito window, go to Udemy for the first time, and then it's going to give you a sale just like that. You see? Members only sale, dive in with courses, $11. Okay? You can always get $11 sales on Udemy. And so basically, I can give you a bit of background information here into why it is that Udemy sells their courses so cheap. And they actually used to have the opposite model. A couple years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, something like that, they used to try and just have expensive courses. But what they found is that they were not able to reach anywhere near as many people. And their instructors were also actually losing out of money. From Udemy's data, it actually is more profitable to sell a course for 10 or 20 bucks than it is to sell it for $100 or $200. Yeah, it's true that if you are selling a course for $100 or $200, you only need 1 or 2 sales to get it. But the way the world works and the way these emerging markets overseas work, there is tons of demand for valuable monetizable information priced at 10 or 20 bucks. You can get ingrained in scenes overseas in India and other places where you will get hundreds of sales a day because your course supplies the right information and it's cheap. Okay, so Udemy found that it was able to produce more profit by having courses be cheaper that sold more frequently than by having courses that are just really expensive. And this doesn't mean that really expensive courses can't earn you money. Real expensive courses absolutely can. And there's tons of people out there, those like gurus, who like their whole existences are based on getting people to pay for these $1,000 courses. What's important to understand with these is that it becomes, if you're trying to sell a course for $1,000, it's all about the marketing. It honestly doesn't actually even matter that much what the quality of your course is or if it's worth $1,000. It's all about really pushing the course, and eventually you get people to follow through. Basically, when you're marketing something, you have relatively similar chances of getting somebody to click through and purchase your product. So if you are spending $10 a day marketing or something, you get relatively the same chance that somebody's going to purchase it, whether it's a $20 product or a $1,000 product. So whenever you're putting money into marketing, it's usually easier if the product is really expensive, because you don't have to convert a whole bunch of people. You just have to convert a couple. And getting people to actually convert can be quite tricky, okay? And I just wanted to give you a little bit of backstory about why Udemy says that, their courses are this much, right? $200 is the highest I can claim, when in reality, it's never going to sell for that much, okay? So now you understand Udemy does some marketing, and when Udemy sells your course for you, you're going to get less, but it has the potential to sell 10, 20, 30, 40 times per day if you show them enough social proof and the subject is in demand. Udemy is a really big marketplace, so that is completely possible. It is absolutely feasible to earn a couple grand a month from Udemy, and if you keep making courses and you have 30 or 40 courses and 4 or 5 of them are performing well, it is possible to earn 10 or 20 grand a month from Udemy. That's one of the interesting things about course creation, is that it doesn't really have that much of a cap on how much you can earn. It's just about your ability to market things properly and continue to generate new content. That part's important, right? So we established the price, and then let's get back to this promotion system, because what I was telling you was the mistake that I made. And like I said, when you create a coupon, what you're doing is basically giving yourself an affiliate link for your course. So in my situation here, this link makes my course $50, okay? So it appears like it's $200 normally, although technically somebody could get it on Udemy for 10 or 20 bucks if they found the sale and they didn't look at it through my link. And I would only get $4 or $5. So what this does is it means that anybody who goes to my link pays 50 bucks for the course, and I actually get $48 of that, which is the same as me getting 10 to 15 organic Udemy sales. And so I decided to price my course a bit higher than my previous dropshipping one, because the dropshipping course was only 20 bucks, and that was really, really, really undervalued. I definitely could have made a noticeably bigger impact on my life if the course had just been $50 from the very beginning. I liked the idea of having a $20 course, because anybody in the world can afford 20 bucks if they save up for a bit, even if they're in a really poor area. Like even if I'm in Nicaragua, people I know who earn not that much money there, 20 bucks is, it's a fairly big deal, but it's not like a whole month of rent or anything like that. It's significantly less than that. It's like 4 or 5 meals, right? And for information you can use to monetize your life, that's pretty good. But basically, I was too focused on it being cheap for people, and I didn't realize that by making it 20 bucks, I was just making it too cheap. $50 is still cheap for valuable information. A lot of people charge hundreds or thousands, right? So you want to be kind of careful about your price, because if you make it too low, then when you do get sales, it's not going to impact you as much. And for me, I tend to feel like, oh, I'm never doing enough, so I keep trying to do more. But I need to get over this and, understand that I have valuable information and mentalities, and I should charge appropriately for that, while still being able to be what I feel is comfortable, right? So what you have to understand when you're making Udemy courses is that a lot of it relies on your ability to bring traffic and using this coupon system. So you make a coupon and you pick a price, and you want to, when you price your course, this is why you want to pick the most expensive. Because if I picked $20, I can't make a coupon that's 50 bucks, because that makes it more expensive, right? Whereas if I price the course at $200, knowing that Udemy is going to still sell it for 10 or 20, then at least when I run a promotion and somebody goes to the link, this is what it's going to look like, right? We're going to go here, going to load it, and then they'll see this, right? So the course is in draft mode because it hasn't been approved by Udemy yet, but that'll probably just take a day or two. And so they see $50 and $200 normally, so 75% off, because they looked at it specifically through this link, and that brings traffic. Technically, anybody could just search for this course as a new student on Udemy and not go through my link, and they could find it even cheaper. But that's just how it is. If somebody knows that about Udemy, then they can get the course for cheaper. Okay, cool. But I'm still going to have my link for most of my content be $50, okay? And so there's one main difference in what I did in the past and what I'm doing now, all right? And I can show you that, actually, if we go to this course landing page, because I want to make sure that in this live stream, I cover every possible part of the Udemy course creation process. So it's going to be another like 90 minutes mostly during this live stream. And then I'll make another video that's more specific later on. But I want to make sure that you guys understand every part of a Udemy course, right? And so basically, let's take a step back here and let's look at the individual components here. Because there's one main difference, and that's this. I had never used a promotional video in the past, ever, which is really, really weird. Like, promotional videos are one of the most effective things you can do to increase the chance that your Udemy students enroll. And I had tried to make them before, but I didn't have equipment that was great, and I was just using my cell phone, and I ended up not being happy with it, and then I got distracted by something else. I think this is when I first got in trouble on eBay, actually. So I was in the middle of working on one thing, and then, something happened on eBay, and it made me completely forget what I was working on prior to that. But the way that these videos work is you basically make an ad for your course, and then Udemy uses your ad to try and convert other people, right? So if you don't have an ad, then your ad is just the landing page, only text, and maybe your image here. You want to have a video. It's really important. And that's something I didn't do for all my other courses. And I regret that a lot, to be honest. So now let's look at this real quick. Aprilia says, I'm about 75% done with my first Udemy course. Oh, that's awesome. Let me know what that process has been like for you. Because I'm really trying to get in touch with more people who create courses. Because if I look at my YouTube channel, actually, and then I go to my most watched videos, so if I go to my analytics and I scroll down, then we can see here that watch time wise, out of all 1,100 YouTube videos, the one that gets the most watch time to this day is how to make a Udemy course. So that shows that there is demand within my audience and also on YouTube for this kind of content. But I need to get better at the marketing part, right? So now that I've talked a little bit about this promotional video, I should probably actually show it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to show you guys this promotional video. Just give me a moment, because I need to do it in a way where you can actually hear the audio. So here, I know what to do. Alright, so I gotta plug these in real quick. Make sure everything's unmuted. Unmuted, good. Now I need to go into OBS, and I need to unmute the desktop audio. Okay, so now you guys should be able to see it, okay? And so I'm gonna show you guys how this promotional video is made, because it is honestly probably the most important part of your Udemy course. The reality is the vast majority of people who interact with your course are never actually going to follow through. The point where you get somebody who's actually watching your content, you've already converted them. You're already through the hardest part. I would like to say that it's as simple as you just making a great course, but the reality is that it's not. It is actually more dependent on your ability to market than your ability to create a good course. An average course that's marketed very well is going to perform better than an amazing course that doesn't have any marketing. And that's just the reality of it. So that's why I'm telling you this promotional video is quite important. And what's great about it is Udemy actually has a second-by-second rundown of exactly how to make the promotional videos, right? So if you go to Google and search for Udemy promotional video design, they literally give you a template. Oh, that's not it. Where's the template? Here it is, the perfect promo guide. So that template is first 3 seconds with your course image placeholder. In my case, that's this. It's just a thumbnail, okay? After that, you have 20 seconds, and you give a 1-sentence intro to the course and give some credibility to yourself. After that, you talk about the benefits of the course and what somebody will be able to do after completing it for 20 seconds. And then after that, you list all of the things you're going to teach in 20 seconds. So at this point, we're at 1 minute and 3 seconds. And then for 15 seconds, you describe your target student. And then the last 10 seconds, you say thanks, and you're like, hey, check out the course, okay? So Udemy literally tells you exactly, step by step, what you need to do for this promotional video. And again, it is the most important video in your course because it is what determines if somebody is going to follow through and give your course a shot, a chance, or if they never will, right? Your content doesn't determine if somebody gives the course a shot. It determines if they keep going with the course. In order for them to even get to that point, you need to have a good promotional video, okay? So now let's watch this. And this isn't a perfect example of a promotional video. There's still some problems that I'm going to fix, but it's good enough for you guys to get a sense of it, okay?
What's up, guys? My name's Jack Pittman, and I'm here to teach you how to use OBS. One button, and boom, I'm recording my face. One click, boom, I'm recording my screen. The opportunities are limitless. I've used open broadcaster software every day of my life for 3 years, and it's an amazing tool that you can use to accomplish a wide variety of different video creation tasks. At the end of this course, you're going to be able to live stream and record anything that you want. You could use video footage just like this, or you could switch it to be recording your desktop. In this course, you are going to learn some important key concepts to understanding a stream, such as resolution, bitrate, and what your streaming key is. After we've established these concepts, you're going to install OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. This software is free and available for Mac, PC, or Linux. Once you've done that, we'll set up a microphone, set up your video settings, and then you will record and live stream your very own stream. I designed this course thinking about people who have identified some kind of passion, something that you love to do, but you're struggling to figure out how to earn money from it, and how to meet other people who share that passion that you have. This course is designed for you. If you get excited thinking about what it's like to record and share your passions with other people, to earn money doing what you love, being able to live stream and create video is the key to being able to have that kind of life. So be sure to check out this course if that's something that gets you excited.
All right. So I think that played on double speed. They're supposed to be 2 minutes long, and I think that was only a minute. So I apologize if that was quite fast, but that is a promo video, okay? And again, it is one of the most important parts of your course. So don't neglect making a promo video. I neglected making a promo video for all my other courses, and that was bad. That was a bad idea. Don't do that, okay? It's honestly, you should expect that it's going to take you like 1 to 3 days of work to finish a promo video, and that's worth it. Even though it's only a 2-minute video and that you got to edit it a lot and you got to find someone who has like nice equipment so you can use it, it is worth it. It's going to make it much more likely that people actually give your course a shot. Video is much more convincing than just title or text, okay? So now I'm going to look at the chat questions, see what you guys are talking about. Okay. Mikey says, is making courses your 2 to 3 year goal for your mainstream of income? For me, it is. It absolutely is. I love the idea of being able to learn online, package what I'm learning, and teach other people what I learned, and then move on to what I want to learn next. That's the life that I want. I want to live a life where I acquire information and then I put it into more accessible, more convenient chunks that are sold online. That is my goal, my dream, basically. So I'm trying to focus on becoming like full-time I use the word full-time, but I'm talking about earning full-time income, not actually working full-time. I don't want to do anything for 8 hours every day. Like, I could do that for like a week or two for a specific project, but I don't want to work like that. I want to have a life where I have the flexibility and freedom to spend it with the people that I love and be really flexible. When somebody's going through something, I can be there for them. I don't have to work all day, you know? That's why I really like coursework, because you can you can like grind it out, get the course created, and then just do a little bit of marketing and keep earning money from it. Whereas when you're trading your time for money, you can't do that at all, right? So yeah, it is. Making courses is my goal. I wouldn't say that I want to focus entirely on making courses for 2 to 3 years. This year, for the rest of this year, I am focused on making courses. And since the beginning of this year, I've been focusing on making courses. The problem is that I was focused on Skillshare, and then Skillshare after me, right? So now I'm getting back into Udemy. Let's see. So then Aprilia says, I think you should cover how you can make a test video upload for feedback. Okay. Yeah, sure. So when you create a course, you're going to see the same page, regardless of whether it's your first course or your 10th course, okay? However, the first time you make a course, you are required to upload a test video, okay? This is just to show Udemy what kind of audio and video quality you're working with. So basically the way that works is you create an example lecture. Or it doesn't even have to be an example. You could literally just say, hey, this is my test video. Honestly, you should make one of the lectures that you're going to use in your course because you're going to need to make it anyway, and making these videos more and more and more is going to make you better. So I would recommend that you identify one specific thing that you need to teach in your course and then create the test video and then upload it. But the first time that you upload your Udemy course, before you can publish it, you're going to need to upload and pass this test video. So somebody from Udemy is going to review it, and they're going to give you some advice. And they're a really good team. Even if you think the video is perfect, they're going to find something that you can improve. And don't worry too much about it. Say that your audio isn't that great and your video isn't that great, but you don't have enough money to get stuff better. They're going to say, hey, this video isn't the best, this audio has problems, but they're probably not going to, prevent you from posting the course. They're more likely to be like, hey, you should we're going to recommend you fix this. But technically, you could decide not to and still publish it. Generally, okay, quality is a bit of a confusing thing because there's tons of courses out there that don't have any course quality but are really amazing because they're the only course sharing that information. Whereas there's other courses where their lighting quality and audio quality is amazing, but all the information they're sharing is not useful, or it's super common information, right? So it's not unique at all. So don't think that just because you have good audio and video means your course is going to do well. And also don't think that just because you can't do it, don't wait to make a course until you have a fancy DSLR camera or something like that. My dropshipping course was literally all videos made on a laptop like this. You don't need anything. Okay, yeah, having a mic like this is nice, but this is this microphone was $70 used on eBay. You don't need to drop a lot of money. And I strongly encourage people not to drop a lot of money. If you want to get into something and you want equipment, the best way to do it is to find somebody who wanted to get into it, bought a bunch of stuff, and then never got into it. Because that's the mistake most people make. They think that it takes purchasing things to get into something. But most of the time, that's not true. You have to develop the habit. And then once you have the habit, then yeah, you could upgrade your equipment, that kind of thing. But don't think that just because you have a fancy microphone or a fancy camera, don't think that that means that you're going to comfortably be able to create loads of video, because it doesn't. You have to establish that in habit and get through those insecurities regardless of the quality of your equipment. So don't get too tripped up about quality there, okay? Let's see. Aprilia says, random question, but I record on a Blue Yeti and I keep the gain all the way down and I've eliminated all external sounds, but I still get a little whining sound. Interesting. So if you're having a whining sound in your headphones, it could be the headphones themselves. For example, there are times where I think something's wrong with my microphone, but it's actually that the headphones that I'm using just make things sound metallic. However, there are also times where like your microphone won't work. Yetis, for example, have a notorious problem. I might be able to show you, but I don't know if you can see it, but the cable I have is actually wrapped around the base of the Yeti. And that's because the port for the plug gets damaged from constant movement, and it starts to really mess up the sound of the Yeti. So you might find that your microphone's plugged in, but it's turning on and off, or that it sounds really metallic, or it sounds really deep. Like it sounds distorted. That's a pretty common problem with the plug getting messed up. So it's a really good habit to wrap the cord around the base of the Yeti, just so that any tension on the cord pulls on the base, not on the plug part. That plug part is really fragile, and it's the part that's most prone to failure in Yetis. Aside from that, I'm not really sure what else you can do. Yeah, just check your headphones. Record something with a mic and listen to it on a different computer or with different headphones and see how that goes. Also understand that typically creators are hyper aware of their audio and video, and most people watching and listening don't actually notice or care. Unless you have like glaring problems in your audio, it's important to understand that, especially if you're like streaming and that kind of stuff, most people don't have like amazing 4K internet. So in some places, yeah, if you have a 4K stream, people will watch it in 4K, but the reality is the most common streamed resolution is 480 or 720p. Most of the world doesn't have a constant amazing connection. So even if you have amazing quality, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to eliminate all problems for your end user, because they're going to have issues with their internet and that kind of stuff. I use only a little bit of gain. So gain increases your volume, which is really useful, but it also increases the distortion and increases the chance that your microphone's gonna like crash for a second. So for example, I just turned the gain on this microphone all the way up, so you guys can now hear the difference in that. It should have made the volume much louder. However, it's also going to mean that anytime someone else in the coffee shop says anything or does anything, you can hear that more. Okay, so now I'm turning the gain back to what I regularly use. And for reference, I usually use the gain at about 25%. I like it to be a little bit louder, but not like ridiculously loud. Depending on what you're doing, like say that you're streaming a video game or something where there's a lot of ambient noise, you might want to up your gain so that you can hear the microphone past the video game noise. But in most situations, you don't need to worry about it too much. Okay, so Austin says, can you come back to Pittsburgh? Oh man, next time I'm on the East Coast, I will hit you up. Send me an email at jackdermotpitman, jackdermotpitman @gmail.com. I come back to the East Coast in like 3 months, so I'll be there for a wedding in October, and I'll be there for around a month, and I'll be in Pittsburgh, so we can meet up then, okay? But right now I'm on the opposite side of the states. I'm in California, and I'm going back to Nicaragua in like 4 days, so I'm very much not in Pittsburgh. And don't worry, Aprilia, no worries about blowing up my chat. Yeah, audio and lighting is important, but it's not as important as, like, okay, the reason it's important is because it makes you feel like you're confident, so then you talk with confidence. That part is more important than the actual quality of the audio and the video. Generally, even if you are a little bit distorted, if you're providing valuable information efficiently, so quickly and confidently, people are going to like you, and they're going to like the course. It's more about instilling that feeling in yourself. So if you need to feel like the video and the audio is the best to feel that way, then it's absolutely very relevant. Yeah, Austin, yeah, one second, let me give you my WhatsApp. So my WhatsApp number for you and anyone else interested in contacting me is +505 7621 8461. Okay? And I use WhatsApp. I know a lot of you guys in the States don't use WhatsApp, but the rest of the world does, so get on the train, okay? All right, now let's get back into Udemy stuff. What else is relevant to you guys? Okay, so I've talked a lot about like creating content. I usually use OBS, which is this software that you're seeing right here. This is how I create most of my courses. So I'll just typically show a video about what's going on, and I narrate what I'm doing. In general, when you're recording videos, you want to make sure that your lectures are between 2 and 5 minutes long. It's better to have multiple short videos than it is to have individual long videos. You want your students to feel a sense of progression, okay? And when they see 2 or 3 minute videos, it's very easy for them to be like, okay, I'll watch that. All right, I'm through something. I did something. I finished something, okay? Whereas if you have one 20-minute video, this is going to alienate a lot of your students, and you'll get lower retention rates. So you want to break everything up into individual chunks of information that you can teach in 2 to 4 minutes, ideally. 5 minutes is okay, but really you want to keep it like 2 to 3 minutes each lecture is ideal. That being said, in my course, I have some videos that are like 7 minutes, right? So let's talk a little bit about this setup, right? Because when you guys create Udemy courses, you're going to see all this, and it's going to be confusing. You see this target your students thing, this course structure thing, this setup and video. There's all these components. All of your work happens in this one, the curriculum section. This is where you upload your video content to Udemy. The actual course itself goes in this curriculum section. The film and edit section is literally just advice on filming your videos. That's it. You don't fill anything out here. The setup and test video is the same thing. It's just where you create your test video the first time you make a course. But aside from that, you don't do anything else here. So when it comes to this stuff on the left, you can basically ignore everything except target your students and curriculum, and then these last ones for publish your course, okay? You don't have to worry about captions. You don't have to worry about the film and edit section, the setup and test video, or the course structure section, okay? This is all just advice about making your course. So you can read these if you want to, but when you actually make courses, you're not going to be interacting with all these tabs. So it can be a bit confusing because like you're going to see that these look like this. It's a circle, right? So it's going to be all unchecked. Literally, in order to check it off, you just go to that section, and then you just go to another one, and then it's checked. So they basically just want you to read it, okay? So again, when you're making Udemy courses, you're going to be spending all your time in the curriculum section. So now that we've talked a lot about Udemy, we've gotten all that out of our system, let's look at the course that I just made that I actually feel really, really proud of. This is the same course that you just saw the promotional video for, right? That advertisement I was talking about. So this course starts off with an introduction section, and that's just some basics. I use a face video just to show who I am and show my face for a little bit, and then after that almost all the videos are this kind of stuff, just like the video you're watching right now, right? So the second section is about testing your internet speed, because if you want to do live streams and that kind of stuff, you need to know what your upload speed is. There's only certain kinds of formats that, like, if you have a 1 megabit upload speed, that limits the kinds of streams you can host. If you have a 20 megabit upload speed, that means you could host a regular stream but not a 4K stream, right? So it's important that you know the specifications of your internet before you get started streaming so that you know what you can stream, okay? And so one of the things that I'm doing differently in this Udemy course is that every single section has a like quiz, basically. That's a new thing. I didn't have that before, and in my dropshipping course, that was the most common complaint, is that there weren't enough actionable steps to test the knowledge, okay? I didn't have any quizzes, I didn't have any of that. Whereas in this course, every single section ends with one of these assignments. So let's look at what one of these assignments would be like by going back and clicking on preview. How do we do that? Curriculum, preview, here we go. We're going to preview it as a student, and we're going to open it in a new tab. And I'm just doing this so I can show you what the assignment section looks like, right? So we're going to go to testing your internet and then click here. So we would normally watch this video, and then once it finishes, we would start the next part, which is right here. So let me zoom in so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so you'll see that they get a little thing. It has a title. What resolution can you stream in? And then it has a description. In this assignment, you will test the speed of your internet and share it with the community. Knowing your internet stats is necessary to understand your streaming options. Okay, and so then they would go to the start. Okay, and after they click start, then they're going to see all of the questions for the assignment. They're also going to see a resource file, which is literally just a photo with some reference information. Okay, so in this case, we can open it so you guys can see what it looks like. It's literally just this. It says, okay, if you want to do a 1080p stream, then you need 3,000 to 6,000 kilobits per second of upload speed. If you want to do a 480p stream, then you need 500 to 2,000 kilobits. Okay, this is just a document so people don't have to remember the specifications. All right, so then these are the questions in the assignment, and then they go to next, and then they see all of their questions. Okay, after they submit these, then they see all the answers in the instructor example, and then after that, they're able to look at other people's answers. So this is really important because you don't want your course to just be video content. You also want it to have something that allows the students to engage with other students. That part is really important. It's going to increase the retention rate of your course. So try and use these kind of assignments whenever possible. In general, you want one assignment per section. Okay? So now let's scroll down. Okay, that was section 2. So then section 3 is actually installing the software. You do have to be a bit careful when you're telling people to install stuff in a Udemy course. There's some limitations if the thing you're telling them to install is paid. You need to be careful about how you communicate that. Okay, in this case, OBS is completely free. I don't have an affiliate link for it. That system doesn't exist. So I can just tell people to go to the website in the middle of the course and install it because it's a free resource that you have to use. So it doesn't matter. Whereas if it was a paid course or a paid product, you would need to put in the course requirements that you have to have this paid product in order to do the course. Otherwise, you can't tell them to go purchase something in the middle of your course. That violates Udemy policy. So you have to be a little bit careful there, okay? But so I show them how to install it, how to set up some things, and again, then we do another assignment where we talk about what they learned. Then after that, we talk about microphones and noise gates and audio and all that. And then we do more stuff about setting up OBS and how to use it more eloquently, how to use intros automatically, right, where you press one button and an intro plays, that kind of thing. You can do all of that with OBS. We also talk about some other options for recording and adding frames and all that. Then afterwards, we have the live streaming section. And that's the whole course. And so the way it works when you're doing Udemy courses, you make these sections, and then there are lectures, right? So let's actually go, let's act like we're going to make a new section, fake section. This is what it would look like. You make your section, and you can put a little objective over what you want to learn, and then underneath you click these plus buttons. And so within each section, you can add a lecture, a quiz, a coding exercise, a practice test, or assignment. You can basically only just use lectures and assignments. You don't have to worry about everything else. Maybe you want to use quizzes every now and then. Coding exercises are basically exclusively for programming courses, so you're not going to worry about that too much. All that you need to make sure is that you have lectures and you have assignments. If you have both of these, then you're going to get some good engagement, and students won't feel like you are not giving enough actionables. Whereas if you only have lectures, they might feel like there's not enough opportunities to apply what they're learning, okay? So you would just click that, and then you would name it the lecture. This is going to be our test default lecture, okay? Let me scroll in so you guys can see things better. So now we see we've created a section, we've created a lecture, but there's no video, right? So what you would do is you would click this plus content button, and then click on video, and then you would select the file from your computer and upload it. it would upload, and then let's just pick some random one. Let's do this one. It'll look like this. I recommend you use MP4 files for your file format. You can use other file formats, but I've had problems with Udemy, specifically using FLV files, which is what I usually record in with OBS. But you don't have to worry about it too much. It'll be fine. So after the video finishes loading, then it'll start processing. And once it finishes, you'll get an email saying it's finished processing and it's ready. And at that point, it's available. Like, say that this course was public, that would mean that I could click publish and the video would be available to somebody. But this is a test video, so I just wanted to show you guys what it's like to navigate the curriculum section in Udemy, because this is going to be where you spend most of your work. You're going to be making these sections, making lectures, uploading files. That's how you actually create the course once you have all of the raw files recorded. And also, don't think that you have to plan the entire course out before you start uploading stuff. In my experience, I don't produce the best courses that way. The best way that I produce courses is by identifying 1 or 2 videos that I have to make for the course that I feel comfortable with making now. For example, in this course, it's a course about using OBS, which is this software right here. And one of the things when I started was like, I didn't think that anybody would want to take this kind of course. I didn't think it would be in demand, which is funny because after publishing it, it actually was my most in-demand Skillshare course. Like, it did 10 times better than any other course, okay? But in the beginning, I felt like it wouldn't be worth my time. I felt really insecure about it. And the way I got through that was by identifying one specific thing that I could make a video about. So that one specific thing was how to troubleshoot your microphone if it's not working. So I just made a video that was like, okay, this is how to set up your microphone, and that's it. That's all I did. And then after making that video, I was like, oh, well, they would need to know how to buy a microphone, right? I can't just tell them how to set up their microphone without giving them advice on what kind of microphone to get, right? So that resulted in this lecture, buying a microphone, whereas buying a microphone wasn't part of my original course outline. So you want to make sure that you maintain some flexibility, because it's true that you need to understand your course really well and know what you're going to teach and in what order. You also need to have the flexibility to be able to improve the course as you're making it. So as you start to record stuff, you're going to think, hey, it makes a lot of sense for me to talk about this next, or hey, I didn't talk about this, I should make a video about that. And so you want to allow yourself to deviate a bit from the original outline that you prepare. You don't have to follow your first outline. Just keep making content and making sure that you're organizing it well. The way that works for me is typically I just make a bunch of videos. I literally just make a list of videos that I know I need to make for the course, and then I start recording them, and then I start ordering them. But usually I have to make them first, and then I can be like, oh, that should be the first video, that should be the last video, because it makes sense. Whereas if I was just doing it by an outline, maybe I would get to a certain point and not know what to do anymore, when I could actually just record a later video and skip the middle part of the course and do that later. You don't have to work on it chronologically, and I find that doing that kind of holds me back a bit, right? But now we've talked enough about this curriculum, and we have this fake section. I'm just going to get rid of this, because it's not actually necessary. Okay, yeah, we have intro. Okay, cool, we're good. So let's look at the chat real quick, see what else is going on here. Okay, Aprilia says she has you've redone your video 3 times. That's good, honestly. So it's good to redo the intro in particular because it's an important video, just like the promotional video. But also be careful, because you can always find more to improve. So if you find that you have to keep remaking a video and you don't feel satisfied with it, what I encourage you to do is take a break, do something else, and then re-watch all 3 videos tomorrow. Maybe you feel very confident that the first video you did sucked, and the second one was a little bit better, and the third one was even worse now, but after you've had a day to reflect and do other things and become fresh-minded, it's going to be much more clear to you which video is better to use, okay? And like what I often find is that I will feel like something's really crappy even if I do it 3 times, and then I look at it the next day and I'm like, holy crap, the first one was great. What was I thinking about? It was the best one. Like, that happens to me. So don't trust your opinion. Like, especially if you're in the middle of recording, making a course it brings out a lot of insecurities, especially if you're watching the videos and watching yourself talk. It makes you very aware of the things you're saying wrong whenever you're going, or what, or these kind of things, right? So be careful, because you don't want to be too critical. You want to make sure that you're moving forward. And there's a phrase I really like, and it's called, done is better than perfect. What's that other one? Analytic paralysis? Analysis paralysis. Is that it? There's some phrase for when you're constantly analyzing and you're always trying to figure out what to do better, but that gets you stuck and then you don't end up progressing. I think it's analysis paralysis. But that's very real, especially in coursework. So be careful, okay? Let's see. Jesse says, how was meeting Reyes? It was awesome. Reyes in person is exactly like he is in his YouTube channel. He talks the same way, same kind of enthusiasm. Super cool. Aprilia says, I redid them over a week and it was super clear which was better, and I asked a friend to watch and give an opinion. Nice. That's awesome. Sounds like you're doing all the right things for this, honestly. That's great. Okay. So now, let's see. What else do we need to talk about? I think we're done with all of the basics of Udemy. You guys understand that, okay, we're not done. I also need to talk about the free course thing. Don't use free courses on Udemy. Make a paid course and make it cheap. Don't use free courses. Udemy is an analytics game. Udemy will not push your course unless they see that a high amount of people are engaging with your course. Giving your course away does not make people engage in it. Giving your course away for free makes people sign up for the course and never take it. If you launch a free course on Udemy, it will easily get 100 to 200 signups the very first day. And for the first month, you could get between 20 and 50 signups per day. These numbers sound great. And the argument is that you're going to get all these signups and it's going to bring some traffic and it's going to show some engagement. But these people don't give a crap about your course. They didn't have to give anything up. They didn't even have to care about what you're teaching. They don't even have to want to learn what you're teaching. All they had to think was, oh, hey, I want to get something for free. This screws your analytics. It makes it so that 98% of those hundreds of initial signups will never even start the first lecture of your course. So when you have a free Udemy course, it forces the analytics to be horrible. And then you have to like bring it out of the gutter by continuously improving it and making it a paid course. But if you just launch it paid from the very beginning, you don't have that problem. And it may be frustrating to get people to actually purchase it. Maybe you only get 1 or 2 purchases per month. But don't think that 200 free signups is better than 1 or 2 purchases, because it's not. A person who pays money for your course is going to at least take the first lecture. You are guaranteed going to get better analytics. And there is a lot of information out there about Udemy where people tell you to make a free course first and then convert it to paid later. Do not do that. The only reason people like doing that is because when you launch a free course, you get hundreds of signups, and it seems exciting, but it's a lie. That hundreds of signups doesn't mean anything aside from death to your analytics, because those people will not engage in your course. So again, do not make free courses on Udemy. Make paid courses. And if you really want to, make a really cheap paid course that's like $10. Don't have free courses, okay? The one exception is if you have a crash course. A crash course is a course that's designed to get people interested and direct the traffic towards another course. Okay? So now we need to start talking about marketing. I'm going to show you guys a bit about Google AdSense because I'm a YouTuber and it's my favorite way to do marketing. So first, let's go to Google Trends, because you're going to need to know some basic approaches for marketing. And I'm still learning marketing. I haven't figured out how to do this properly. It's still a new game for me, okay? But what I want to show you is what I'm doing for my latest Udemy course. This is me applying everything that I know, okay? So my latest course is about how to use OBS, right? And what I understand is that I need to identify people who already know what OBS is, right? So OBS stands for Open Broadcaster Software. We're going to search for this. And what we want to find, we don't care about any of this. What we want is this. We want to find the specific state that has the most interest in Open Broadcaster Software. And you can see that that specific state is Iowa. Okay? But there's not that much information here, okay? But this is basically what you want to do. You want to identify a subject, identify a specific place where there's interest in that subject, and then you want to target ads using Google AdSense, okay? So this is what that would look like. You would go to Google Ads, and then you would set up a campaign. We're just going to edit an existing campaign because Google Ads is really confusing and that's its whole other thing. So you can see here I have some basic ads running for my course. I'm spending pennies per day, right? Only 25 cents. And I launched these, but they haven't gone through yet. So what we're going to do is just edit one of them. We click on that, and now we're going to scroll down to locations. So here you can see that this one doesn't target any locations. Whereas if we go to this one here, and then we go to locations, you can also see that there's none. That's because I'm looking at the wrong one. I need to look at one that, here we go, this one. Now if we go to locations, there we go. You see that it is specifically targeting Utah. Okay? And that's because I did some research about screen share and that kind of thing, and it indicated that there was a higher interest in it there. I might have mistakenly done Iowa before, but this is basically what you're going to do. You're going to do two separate things for your campaigns. One is do keyword research to identify areas that already have interest and then run targeted campaigns in those areas that already have interest. And two is identify keywords and run campaigns by targeting keywords. So if I go up here, you can see I don't have any keywords for this campaign, right? That's because this is a specific location campaign. But if we go to this campaign, and then we click on keywords, you can see that we have all these different keywords that we're targeting. So that means if somebody searches for these, then our ad could show up after that search, right? And so you want to use keywords that are relevant to what you're doing, right? I have a course about OBS. So if somebody's searching for OBS stream, then I show them an ad about OBS. It's directly relevant to what they're interested in, right? So these are the two basic mentalities that you would use if you were marketing a course on Udemy with Google AdSense. You want to identify a specific place that has demand for your course already and target that place. After that, you also want to identify specific keywords that are related to your course and target those keywords using Google AdSense, okay? And so these are going to be two ways that you can bring traffic to your Udemy page to establish that social proof and also to get that 97% of the sale. Because remember, if I'm selling this course for $200 on Udemy, Udemy is going to sell it for 10 or 20 bucks, and I'm going to get an average of $4 per sale. So in order for me to earn 50 bucks or 40 bucks, I need to sell 10 times on Udemy organically. Whereas if I bring in one sale through advertising, then I get $47 from the sale. So you want to focus on getting those sales through the promotions, knowing that Udemy is going to match you. As you bring more sales through your own promotion, Udemy is going to slowly grow their organic traffic more and more and more, okay? So to show you guys what that looks like and to finish off this stream, we're going to go to my analytics here. I should be able to go to performance and then revenue report. Yeah, okay. So what I want to show you guys, you see these colors? So in the beginning, most of my sales were this green color, your promotions, okay? You can see that, like, for this month, for example, I had $600 in promotion sales and $300 almost in organic sales. So roughly half the amount of organic sales as my own promotions, right? Whereas as time progressed, look what started to happen. Look at this month. Organic represented double my own promotions consistently until the dropshipping crash kind of happened, which was right around here. So you can see that once you do bring in some social proof through your own promotions, Udemy will eventually start matching that, and that's when you can start to really grow a lot. All right, guys, I'm getting pretty tired of talking. I'm going to look at the chat, and then I will answer any other questions. Let's see. Jesse says, I have $100 in my PayPal from India. I created eBay today. Do you think I should start dropship from AliExpress? What will be my problem as new? Honestly, man, if you only have $100 and you need to get money, I don't know if you should be drop shipping. You should probably be doing something more, more stable. You want to be a content creator. Content creators have all of the power. Like, $100 may allow you to do something, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend that you do drop shipping in that case. Because of all of the problems that can come up. I would recommend that you start a YouTube channel or do something like make a blog or study YouTube people who make blogs. Find something where you can create traffic. That part is going to be really important. So Aprilia, I'm reading your stuff now, and I'll make some videos about Google Ads. I understand how confusing it is. I've done over 27 campaigns, and it is definitely frustrating. I will say that I did do one video. So if you go to YouTube and you search for Jack Pittman, and then Google AdSense. Oh. You need to actually be on YouTube, not on my studio account. Yeah, so this is the video that you want to watch. This video, example of a 30-day Google AdSense campaign for beginners, shows everything that I know about Google AdSense, and you're going to learn a lot from doing that, okay? So I recommend you check that out. Let's see. Aside from that, I think we're pretty much done. All right. Oh, so the open door, generally you want to show your face whenever possible. You see how right now I have a screen and I'm showing my face in the bottom left? That's ideal. If you show your face, you stand out because most people are scared to show their faces. So you being able to show your face is a competitive advantage and it makes you more engaging. Generally, the more you're willing to expose yourself, the better people will respond to you. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. if any of you guys are interested in doing any kind of counseling or consultations, I do paid consulting regarding this kind of stuff. If you need somebody to hold you accountable or to help you with your course creation process, it costs $20 per 30-minute session. If you want, I do free calls if you let me record it and publish it to my YouTube channel. So that's a choice you got to make. Either you pay me and it's private, or you pay me by letting me record the video. And I will talk to you about literally anything that you want. You can pick my brain as much as you want. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And make sure to check out the OBS course. It's still in review on Udemy as of me making this, but the link in the description will work as soon as it's posted. It shows you how to create video and how to use OBS and how to have all these live streams. I'm really, really proud of it. I put a lot of work into that course, so check it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.